Hey gang, welcome back to the Ultimate Street Fighting Systems Combat Jiu-Jitsu series. This is... Hey gang, welcome back to the Ultimate Street Fighting Systems Combat Jiu-Jitsu series. This is tape number 4. Again, I'm Walt Bayless, and Darren's still with me. He's making it all the way through, and we're going to show you some chokes today. We're going to work primarily on the ground because, like I said, your most effective finishing moves are going to be done on the ground. You've got better control. You've got a brace right there that's natural. Gravity's helping you out and everything else. So if you're experimenting with jiu-jitsu, when you're training, you'll probably find that on the ground is where all the effective techniques are going to be for your finishes. Okay, so we're going to work primarily there. I'm starting today with the big man from the mount. Okay, in the mounted position, you've got quite a few options to you. And again, we're spending a lot of time working with no gis. I can show you a bunch of gi chokes, and there's going to be a separate series out with that. That's more sportive. You still have some options with a t-shirt and so on, but what I'd like you to do is to get really, really comfortable being able to put these bear chokes on. Bear strangles are much more difficult. They take a lot more practice, and they take a lot more creativity. But this is where your meat and potatoes is going to be in a real situation, because a choke is probably, in my opinion, the most effective finish. It's going to render the guy totally unconscious and totally unable to hurt you any further if that's the case. Also, I want to mention this too. When you train these guys, try to tap early. Don't wait till you're halfway gone and things like that. Chokes are basically safe. I mean, there's been extensive studies done on people getting choked on a regular basis and no brain damage, but I mean, I wouldn't want to push the issue anyway like that. I enjoy the, I learn a lot of stuff when I'm awake. So what we're going to do is show you some of these chokes, but do tap early. And I'm going to make a couple of good safety points here. All right. Now, starting from the mount here, I've got a couple of good options. The first choke I'm going to show you today is what we call a scissor choke, okay? There's a bunch of different names for it, but let's call it a scissor choke because it looks kind of like that. I'm going to take one arm and put it around behind his head. Now, when I'm like this deep, I'm opened up to roll this way, okay? Because my arm is trapped. Now, in order to avoid that, I'm going to take my legs back here and hook up against his thighs again. Sometimes I can weave them through, and I'm going to kind of fan him out. So if he tries to bridge up or something like that, I can keep him from pulling over here. Okay. So first of all, that arm's around his neck, and I want it snug. I want to feel the crook of my arm right in the side of his neck. My bicep should be flush against the side of his artery. Right in there, right flush. Not back out of waist, I don't want any space in there. Okay? Right up tight, inside here. This arm out here. Now, I'm going to take this other arm, come wide, and I'm going to come on the side of his neck. It's going to turn his head. I'm going to pull his head back here, and put this hand on my bicep, right here. Now, I've got a scissor type motion right here. Right down on the other side of his carotid here. Make sure when you do this move, you're going to want to be really sure of this, because this is dangerous and it hurts a lot too. You see, you don't come right straight down on his throat here, okay? It's a no-winner. I mean, you'll probably get your buddy to tap, but it won't stay with you anymore. Okay, so make sure you turn his head to the side, okay? Grab the side of your bicep here. If you do have a shirt, you can grab it, but chances are you want to practice if you've got nothing. We can show you how to reinforce things if you do have some gis. So here goes the bicep. This other hand, okay? Darren's got a 26-inch neck, so it's difficult for me to reach my arm, but I'm going to reach up here and put it on the inside of my forearm here. Now I've got it wrapped up, almost like I'm crossing my arms. Yeah. So I can finish the tape. I'm going to let go and show it to you one more time. All right? Around his neck it goes, nice and deep. Okay? Wide, comes in, turns his head to the side, right? For neighborly reasons. On my arm it goes. This other hand is going to come up deep until I come over the top of my forearm here. I'm going to lean forward inside here. Now it's really going to help a lot too. It's really going to help a lot too. With this elbow, I want it coming off the shoulder. I want it down. I want a good choke here. So don't put it back here. Come off here. It's infinitely tighter. Okay, there's the first deal. There. I'm going to show you that same move, okay, from another angle here like this. Real quickly here. Don't want to make it last too long. I'm going to do it on the right side. So around comes this arm here. Like this. Keep my balance looking around. Okay. In it comes. Grab my bicep. Up deep inside here. And there it is. There's the choke. A good scissors choke. Now, next I've got a variation on that, okay? This is a personal invention. By the time this tape comes out, there'll be 50 or 60 little schools that say it's been around in India forever. But here's the deal, guys. This is a blast. Because it's so much easier, I think. It's a lot more difficult. Like I said, when you're working with veritable titans like Darren, it's difficult to put on some of these moves around big necks. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this other hand, instead of putting it all the way across, I'm going to take take it on the side, make a fist, and use these top knuckles as a little pry lever, okay? I'm going to pry up that jaw right there. This is going in the side of his carotid. The other side of his carotid artery is being hit by my bicep. Here, again, it's snug, it's flush, it's deep. Okay? So in this one goes here, right in the side. Once I get it in, okay, and start stacking it on, I want to push it down like I'm swinging a hammer. My wrist is going down this way. So in and down. But I want to back it up with this other hand here, like this. And I prefer this move because it goes on so much tighter, and I can keep it on even if I get rolled over. Now that's important when you're in the mount. Here, once I put this baby on here and wrap it up, if I were to get rolled over, for example, I could keep this on until I got my tap. Right there. We're still friends, at least until the end of tape 5. Okay, now, lastly, Big Darren and I want to show you one more here. Okay, this one is called basic shoulder choke. Inside here, when I'm mounted up on the guy, he'll be covering up a lot like this, and as I drop down, again, I like taking one hand behind the neck. This time, I don't have to have it snug right off the bat, okay? I can ease it in a little bit at a time. I want to try to separate his arms, though. That is really important. I don't want them together, okay? Now, if you're having trouble with that, like I said, if you want to, you can put one arm between here and kind of lie down and force your arm out. There. That kind of opens them up for you, okay? Now I've got a little extra space. Again, I kind of want to hook with the legs, kind of keep myself stable and relaxed. Not tense, because I don't want to make it easy to get rolled. I want to be relaxed, yeah. Just pulling up on those legs when I try to push to roll me over. There, I'm fine. Now, I'm going to take this baby here, reach back, and find that elbow, okay? Find that elbow. There's a couple of ways to do this. The easiest way for me is to make it so his arm is totally trapped. I like taking this one arm, pushing it down, and taking it with that wrist behind his head. Here we go. See that? Now, with it wrapped up here, his elbow's a lot easier to maneuver around because he doesn't have the strength of his whole arm. He's kind of limited in his range. So I'm driving his elbow up here. I'm going to put my hand on the other side of it, like this. Let go of the wrist, right there. I'm going to drop my head down low. This outside hand, you can feel the ball of his shoulder right there, okay? Like a big grapefruit. That's where you want your palm to be, at the base of that ball, like you're grabbing the ball. There it is. My other hand's going to stack on top of that. It's important now that this other arm is flush against the side of his neck again, because that's what's choking the other side. His shoulder's going to be choking one side of the carotid. My bicep's going to be choking the other. Here we go. We stack them up, put them together like this, drop my head down. There it goes. And here's the one powerful tap that shows you that how we went on. It was a little irritating. It's easy to get. This is kind of a 2-for-1 choke. Okay, one more time. I'm going to show it to you from a different angle. And hopefully we can get some evidence of the beating that I'm taking over here. So most happens worse than the practice. So I try upside here. Here comes my arm. My legs hooked up. Keep good balance. Take them easy. I'm going to trap that wrist. There's that elbow. Move it up to the side. Put my head over. Let go of the wrist. My arm's in snug. If my arm is not snug enough, if you're having troubles with this move, that's probably where it's going to be. Is that left arm is not going to be snug enough, or your right arm if you're doing it the other side. So what I do is I take my outside arm, kind of pick his head up like this, and weave my arm through. Now it's snug, okay? All right, here, watch this, watch the ribs. Watch what he does. Okay, and I drop my head down here, look for that big grapefruit, stack my hands, drop my hand, and squeeze together. In with my bicep and in with my hands, pinching together like an accordion. There you go, that's all we didn't do. That's it. There's the choke. It's a piece of cake. So that's a couple of real simple ones from the mount there, actually 3 of them. Another situation you're going to find when you're in the mount is the guy will end up turning to one side or the other, okay? So, as he turns up to his side, remember what to do. Up on that foot we come right there. We don't want to keep our knee down, remember, so we don't get trapped and rolled over. So we're starting like this. Here's a one front choke I'm going to leave off with you from the mount anyway. As he turns to his side, one of my favorite things is always to take that arm wrap. So I feel really secure here. I'm going to reach around behind his neck. And there's that arm wrap there, right there. As I do that, I'm going to take my other hand and put it underneath on top of my wrist, just like we did when we started the arm lock, okay? Then take 2. I'm going to hold him up inside here, and that's probably what he's going to be expecting, is an arm lock, because this is usually what people like to throw from this position. But here's a tricky little guy you can do from here. What I do is I take this hand that's on top here, let it up this way, and I'm going to make a hand position that you'll probably never make again in martial arts. I'm going to show it to you anyway. You'll see it in books, but you probably don't use it. I'm going to take it, just kind of bend my hand up like this, bend my fingers up. And I'll show you why. It just needs to make my hand a little tighter. And I roll it back in on the side of his neck here. I'm going to put it from here, right up on this side of his neck. Now, there's one side of the carotid, right? The second side's going to happen when I let go of his wrist and grab my own inside here. So his wrist is going to move out of the way here. This hand's going to come up on my own wrist here. Now, once I have these together, I'm going to push down with this hand and pull up with this one at the same time, but never letting go. Here. Right there. And that's how simple that move is. Okay, one more time. Starting from the mount again. Right here. He turns up to the side. Up on one foot I come to keep my balance here. Reach behind his head, looking for that far wrist. And up to support it comes the other one here. He's waiting for what? An arm lock. Right. So we're going to get him ready. He's inside here. He's panicking. I let go with the top hand of mine. Make the ridiculous Karate Kid handshake, right? Put him across the side here. Here it is on the neck. The other one lets go and grabs my own wrist instead of his. Right here, push down, boom, an easy finish right there. Okay, gang, that's going to do it from the mount. Let's move into the next position here. Now, when you're cross-body, you don't have as much control of the guy, okay? Typically, this position is a good transition place. You're usually moving into one lock or the other. A lot of you guys in the beginning will feel more comfortable throwing your locks and chokes on from cross-body because you're able to move your own body around a little better, okay? And it seems easier to control it. But I'm going to show you a couple of chokes that work from here. You really want to try to work from the mount a lot because in a street situation, it's extra, extra safe, okay? Here we go, from cross-body again. The hand by his head comes over the top, controlling this arm and his upper body. I'm just kind of feeling where he is. I'm not squeezing and I'm not cranking him down. I just want to feel where he is. I want to move with him. The hand that's back by his legs goes back, controlling his hips and preventing him from sliding his knee underneath me to put himself in the guard position. So my hand stays inside, so I have a good position here. Typically, if you're in a full-blown match, you want to stay on your toes in the cross-body position here, like this, so you really have a good angle. You can let your knees touch occasionally, but try not to rest and stay afloat, float above him too much. Keep your weight on him here and relax. Okay, our first choke is going to come from a feigned attack again, the knee up position we've been working on before. Here we go in cross body. I'm going to pop up and drive that knee inside. Here. Boom. Here we go, just like this. As he goes to block here, I'm going to take this hand by his head and put it on the back of his neck. Here. He thinks I'm waiting to get over here to the mount, but I'm going to let go and come down and join this other hand here. Now watch what happens, guys. This hand comes behind his neck. The hand that's behind his neck is going to come through and go palm down. The hand behind his neck comes through and goes palm down. You have to remember that. If you flip or juxtapose the position of the hands, you won't get the same effect. So here it comes underneath, palm down. This one goes to meet it here, right on top. And I'm clenching like this, palm to palm, like this. Don't do the church and steeple thing or anything like that. You're going to break your fingers apart. Just go palm to palm. It's a lot easier. You have more momentum, more movement rather. Here we go. Bam. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scissor these together. I'm going to turn my body to the side. It helps me to turn my head a little bit and take this upper arm and drive the elbow in like this. Inside here. Easy choke. You see the rib shot there? Okay. Let's do it again. From cross body. So, one more time here. From cross body. Starting here with the guy nice and tight like this. I'm going to drive, get me up inside here. Here. He's blocking my leg. One hand behind his neck here. This palm goes down. This other hand meets it. Locks up inside here. And I want to drive this elbow, try to drive it off his other shoulder here. Don't let it stop up on his body here so you won't get your arms together more. I'm turning in here and making a scissor motion just like this. Inside here. There it goes. So it's closing up. Inside there, right on the neck, okay? And I want to kind of turn his neck toward my arm here, all right? Again, I don't want to come down right through the esophagus, okay? So your buddy will train with you tomorrow. So digging deep here like this. It'll turn, the head will probably turn naturally here as you drive your elbow in. But turn it to the side here, like this. And on it goes, right there. Okay, now, the next one from crossbody, I feel, is really good. You've got a variety of gi chokes here, but we're working again, like I said, with bear strangles. The gi chokes are easy. We're going to show you some more of those, but these are the difficult ones here, trying to figure these out and get good at it. The next position I'd like to work with is still considered a crossbody position, but it's going to be a headlock, okay? So, I'm going to move over on this side here and start from a headlock position this way. When I'm in the headlock here, we already discussed several shoulder locks, arm locks, okay, things like that. But there's a good choke waiting right here for you, all right? And the best time to get it is right when the guy's trying to attack you with something. Usually the guy will brace both his hands together and start pushing back on your head. Like this, trying to get him out of the way. Anytime you get any kind of a push like that, if he's pushing with just his outside hand, gang, you remember, reminiscent of tape 2, okay? This arm will be all it's a little lonesome here, and you've got a whole variety of arm locks and so on like that. But if he's got his hands together, it doesn't even feel it. This big guy didn't feel it. He's pushing up with both hands here, a mightier shove. I'm going to take this outside hand, we have a little loving grind, okay? I'm going to take this outside hand and post on the elbow here. Boom, like this, and drive it through. Again, I don't want to try to just move his hand, Hercules it through. I want to bump his elbow, but I want to move my own body a little bit as well, okay? I get a lot more done that way, all right? So back here, I've got it past my neck. This other hand underneath here, I generally like to do this. Take it all the way through to the thigh. I think this is a great position here. This is super tight. This other hand here grabs the big grapefruit we were talking about and pushes in with my palm. At the same time, I'm making a muscle as best I possibly can, okay? And pushing on the other side of his carotid, like this. And there's the choke right there, see? And my ribs are also guarded from his tap. Again, back inside here. I threw the headlock on. He's going nuts. Pushing my head away like this. Block his elbow. Take it back through. Find it. Now my head's past. Okay, I've got the arm isolated. For a while anyway. This forearm here comes up. Grabs the inside of my leg. Looking for the big grapefruit there. Push in there. Again, the ribs are safe. If you're having trouble because you've got a bigger guy, all right, like I do, and you can't quite reach your leg inside here, don't worry about it. Say, hey, Walt, don't write me a bunch of letters screaming and tell me about how the move didn't work. It'll be all right. Let me show you another option you've got here. If he's pushing up again here, I can drive it through. Now, the last resort is just to lock your hands the good old-fashioned way. I don't think that's going to choke as well. You need some pressure coming in straight from the side. It'll choke a little bit enough to make another tape, all right? But if I want to get a more solid choke here, if I can't quite reach my leg, I feel like an Oompa Loompa, don't worry about it. I just want to take my other hand here, go ahead and grab the grapefruit early, and stack them like this. Stack them as best you possibly can. And I think you'll get a good reaction there. If you have to lock your hands this way, that's your only result. Yes, our sleep time's running out, huh? Drop your head down. Yeah, if you're practicing a move, occasionally let your opponent breathe for a while. Sometimes you'll be passing out and you won't even know it. You know what I mean? One minute you're training with your buddy, next minute you're scrambling eggs in Switzerland or something. You don't know what's happening. You're on a train to Brazil. So I drop my head down deep like this, and if I have to lock my hands, I want to let my head do the work to push his shoulder inside here. So if I have to do this, the guy's just so titanic that I can't lock my hands. Go ahead, drop my head down here, and push inside there, and I'll still get a good choke. Okay, guys. Now that probably does it for crossbody as far as the bear strangles go. Let's move on into the guard, okay? Now this is a popular one inside here. Okay, still hanging in there. Here we are in the guard. Now, in this position, you've really got to keep the guy tight and close. Remember, like we talked about last tape, don't need to lock your legs up too much. You can wrap them up here, but kind of have them loose and ready to move. Okay, the first choke is the same choke we just did a minute ago, but I want to show it to you from a different position. Because a usual way to clinch with a guy, if he's on top of you and he's trying to punch and kick you, probably just punch you, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one arm around his neck here, and this arm's going to be trying to whack me in the head here. So I probably want to weave underneath it like this. Weave underneath it all the way and lock my hands together. Again, palm to palm, not church and steeple or G.I. Joe or anything else. Just palm to palm. And I'm going to keep my head against his, okay? All right, because the likelihood of him punching himself in the face is not real good. So I'm going to keep my head up here, in the general vicinity, the no punch area. And I'm going to hang on like this. Now, this is going to keep me relatively safe inside here. Now, in order to avoid staying in this position all week long, your opponent's probably going to try a couple of things. Punching you is just exhausting, and it's probably pretty futile, he'll figure out after a little while. All right? Now, if you want to draw attention to yourself, you can see in a real street fight situation here, for you ladies, you'll find yourselves here a lot, okay? Because the guy will throw you down, and from the bottom, this is a good place to be. Hold yourself inside here. You got plenty of time to yell and things like that, hang on to the guy, which will discourage most of the attackers anyway, because they don't want to make a public performance. So hanging inside here, just yell something like garage sale or donuts. People will come running from miles. What they'll probably try to do, though, is get away from you, okay? This is getting a little annoying. All right, this has been an all-day workout. So he'll take this forearm here, because he can't do it with that other arm, and put it across your face and start prying away. Prying up like this, getting some space, and you'll think, oh no, my jiu-jitsu has failed me. You're going to be just fine. But again, just like in the headlock, as he pries away, I'm going to take that arm and push it through, And if it's a bigger guy, you're not going to just muscle your way through it. So push his arm, but move yourself at the same time. If you need to get a little pressure off you, if Darren's just leaning on me, like this, I can use my legs to push up. Go ahead and lean, like this, push, like this, and that'll help get some space. And probably lose his balance as well. So as he's pushing down here, up through like this, now I'm all the way through again. Just like it was in the headlock position, with this arm across. Now the way I like to put this thing on in this position is to have the hand around the neck, come all the way over to the bicep of my free arm. Take it like this. I'm pushing with my head against the shoulder. There's that grapefruit again we're talking about. Pushing in here, and this hand, for figure four, is not going to go in front of his face. It's going to go on the same side of the ear that's on the outside. So my right arm's going to go to my right ear. There it is right there. It's a piece of cake. So from the beginning, I'm in the guard, I'm getting punched and kicked. I'm going to wrap up inside here tight. As he goes to push away on me inside here like this. Reach up inside tight. This outside arm, I'm going to reach for my bicep. Same side ear. And there's the choke. Right there. An excellent, excellent shoulder choke. Okay, next. Okay, as if you didn't think it was going to get any more fun, this is one of the most popular chokes in jiu-jitsu. A lot of people have seen this thing used on TV and things like that. And it's a great one. It's a very, very powerful move. The Brazilians call it a triangle choke. We just call it a figure four. It's all the same thing. It's a blast. The time you're going to use this particular choke, okay, is usually when your opponent is reaching underneath one of your legs to try to throw himself out like this. Now, this feels comfortable to a lot of people. They feel like they're just going to throw you over and you're going to roll away forever. All right? And I'd like to show you this particular move from a couple of different angles because there's a lot to it. The first thing I want to do is take my far side leg here, place it in his hip, and hang on to this arm. Now, you'll learn that in tape 5. This arm should be braced inside here so it doesn't get isolated, but you can do some things to force that out of the way. I want to keep this arm. The one underneath is already kind of established where he wants it to be. That's fine with me. I'm going to keep it there. What I'm going to do is take my far leg, put it in his hip, and hang on to this arm here. I've got no gi to do it with, so I probably want to take a wrist and an elbow. Really control it well. Not to mention this is the only thing that's probably going to be hitting me right now. So here's the wrist and the elbow. I'm going to take that foot and push myself so I'm not parallel. I'm parallel right now. I want to be perpendicular, just like my arm locks. So I turn to the side. This leg's going to come up to this neck here, like this, and I'm turning perpendicular. My body's pointing this way, his is pointing that way. And if you find yourself wadded up in a ball, you'll feel like your legs are shorter than they really are, okay? It's just a myth. Don't go see a chiropractor. Just push your hips up a little bit, and suddenly your foot's going to come further through. I'm going to stack this foot underneath this other leg here at the bend of the knee. I'll use my other hand a lot of times to pull my foot in deeper and pull the head down and squeeze. Right there. Okay? I'm going to show you this move again from another angle. Here we go. I'm going to turn this way. So it's really me talking, don't think it's dubbed. Here's Darren this way. One arm goes underneath the leg. Now, I'm going to control the remaining arm here with the wrist and the elbow. The far side leg that's not my offended member, okay, is going to go right in his hip here, like this. This is going to help me establish a little distance and turn my body perpendicular, okay, to his. Up comes this leg, and I turn to the side here. If you're wadded up, you feel like you can't reach your other leg like this, push it out a little bit, right? Now, over comes the other leg like this. If I need to tighten up a little bit, I reach through with this arm and pull my foot in deep and pull down on the head and squeeze, keeping the arm across in front of him. There it is right there. Okay, finally, I'm going to show you the move one more time from the opposite side here. This time, this arm goes underneath. Now, he's got that arm underneath his leg, so this wrist and this elbow are being controlled. This foot's going to hit his hip this way. I'm going to turn my body perpendicular. Now, I'm going to put it over the top. Notice how I'm keeping his arm across in front of his face here, pulling it tight right here. It's just a modified shoulder choke that we did the first couple of times from the headlock and the first time from the guard. I'm just doing it with my legs, so it's more powerful. Okay? And ladies, this is a fantastic move for you. Guys can't compete with this deal. Here we go. Over the top, I'm going to reach up here with this hand, pull it in deep, figure for it, and pull the head. There's the choke, right there. Okay, gang, that'll wrap it up. I think that'll give you a ton to work with. We're going to call that the end of tape 4. And what I'd like you to do, as usual, go back to the beginning and take 1 or 2 of these moves at a time. Train them quite a bit, but listen, especially listen to the little details that I'm talking about. Because when it comes time to do these things in real combat and or in a sparring situation with people that aren't necessarily trying to let you win, You're going to have these details to gain an advantage over stronger opponents, more conditioned opponents. This is a game of strategy, not of conditioning or strength or power. So you want to take some time and listen to the details. Work them slowly, even though it's frustrating. I know you want to hurry up and jump into one of those no-holds-barred fights, but take your time and work the little things over and over and over and over again. And in a very short time, and I mean a very short time, in a matter of a couple of months, you're going to start to feel these things tighten up incredibly, incredibly well. Sometimes even weeks. So don't put a time limit on yourself. Have a good time and get ready for tape number 5. We're going to show you how to get out of some of the toughest situations in the whole world, how to take the guy who's got you in a bad position, put him in a bad one, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So we'll see you there. Thanks a lot.